Western countries have overestimated China's support for Russia, says David Petraeus, former commander of the US NATO combined forces in Afghanistan. In particular, it is about Moscow's nuclear blackmail. In this regard, Beijing as well as New Delhi critically perceived Russia's threats to use nuclear weapons. According to the expert, the position of China and India is based on their pragmatic interest in relations with the West and the global thaws.
At the beginning of the war, we had a well-founded fear of Russia's possible use of nuclear weapons. This led to warnings that if even tactical nuclear weapons were used, the Black Sea Fleet would be destroyed. However, we subsequently saw the limit of Chinese support for Russia. A nuclear strike on Ukraine would mean that Russia has crossed a red line and would require a harsh response from its allies, meaning that Beijing and New Delhi would have to publicly distance themselves from Moscow. David Petraeus, commander of US and NATO forces in Afghanistan 2010-2011 at the YES Forum.
Thus, at the annual Sichuan Forum, Chinese Defense Minister Dong Jun said that big countries should supposedly take the lead in global security and refrain from intimidating those who are smaller and weaker.
No matter if they are big or small, developed or developing, all countries should have an equal right to participate in international affairs and voice their needs and uphold their legitimate rights and interests. We are willing to deepen and expand military relations with developing countries across the board.
He addressed representatives of 90 countries and international organizations. Michael Chase, Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for China, Taiwan and Mongolia, represented the United States at the forum. He will also lead the US delegation in talks with Chinese military counterparts. According to Reuters, some diplomats and analysts have noted signs of improved communication between the US and Chinese militaries, despite tensions over the South China Sea and Taiwan, as well as Beijing's support for Moscow.
China is trying to use war to negotiate peace from a point of view of the new system of global security, where China will play one of the decisive roles and, in fact, be one of the founders of this new security system. And accordingly, that is why China is so active in its so-called peace initiatives, because it has its own global interest.
Meanwhile, China and Russia continue to hold joint military exercises. According to the Chinese Defense Ministry, the exercises are aimed at deepening strategic cooperation between the two countries. And during the 5-day exercise, the naval and air forces performed a number of maneuvers in the waters and airspace of the Sea of Japan, involving more than 400 warships, 120 aircraft, and up to 90,000 military personnel.
In the drills, we applied a real battlefield environment to conduct exercises on subjects such as ship-to-sea firing by main guns and anchorage ground defense at night, and effectively dealt with all kinds of emergencies in the darkness of night. We achieved the desired effect through the drills.
The Associated Press reported that Chinese President Xi Jinping plans to visit Russia in October. The main purpose of his visit, as the Chinese diplomatic ministry explained, will be participation in the BRICS summit. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Христина Домбровська, UATV News.